Gotta pop out all my chat and we will be away. So I gotta pop that chat out. Long time ago. Oh, that's way too big. All right. All right. Hello, hello, hello. We're gonna keep the stream probably a little short, but I have some mining to do. So I just want to make sure that this is resetting. It is. Wonderful. So we're getting very close to a time where our little worm friend is going to have to move. It's going to have to move. Well, that updated to a weird spot. I just looked up at Streamlabs and my vertical output was in way the wrong spot. So, but nevertheless, we are going to need to move our little worm friend here soon because he is very luckily right at the edge of where we're going up to today. So, but we need to clear out this whole section right here because we need to get to there. We'll probably put in the road if that makes the most amount of sense. Probably put in the road going to there. So, yeah. It's going to be a real simple stream. We're going to go get our shulker boxes over by us. Going to fill in where we need to and go from there. Yeah. Be a good short, simple stream today. It'll only be an hour and a half long. It is really late at night. But I wanted to stream because I haven't been able to stream at all recently. Or last time I streamed, I had to end way earlier. Why is this here? Because I was just feeling terrible. So, yeah. So, hello. I hope you're having a fantastic, amazing, wonderful day. Yeah, it's just going to be really, really simple. Just going to start digging out and go from there. I would normally be... We're in the middle of a build right now. But with where we're at time-wise, I just don't want to do that. And I want to get a stream in. Because I don't know if I'll be able to tomorrow. So. Which, I mean, technically I'll cross into tomorrow during the stream, so. But that's the semantics of it all. Collect show. But yeah, how's everybody's day going? I hope you're having a fantastic, amazing day. Which days have you spent working on this build? I've spent 69 days in game. Real world days in game on this entire server, so this I probably have about 20 days. No, I wouldn't say 20 days, probably about 10 days worth. So I'm not entirely sure. I'm like 68, 69 world days, like real world days is the best answer I can give you. The server's been up for 5 years. So how's it going? W2000. Interesting. Yeah. But it is up to date to 20.21.10, so this isn't my only area. This is just the area I'm interested in working on. But needless to say, I have about everything you could have in this game. Irix, I actually have been wanting to get that game, so. Not an AR gamer? Yeah, tell me about it. What's up, Shmiji? How you doing? I love Minecraft. How do I not get bored of it? I will let you know when I figure that out. I find giving build stories really, really helps. No, Smidgy, I don't. I actually need to learn for my job because we go to a lot of Spanish-speaking countries. But I do want to play Arc Raiders. I can't get it right now, so. But I know having like a story behind the world does help. And then also figuring out where you like to play. It's a good thing too. FNAF 2 buildings. Marion, I'm actually working on I love FNAF, right? I love FNAF. But I'm working on my own book builds. So this build is actually based off of a book that I wrote. So it's an entire city within the book. And it is actually crazy. Love God. No, I don't. I got into, what was the one before this most recent one? A little bit. And I really only play with friends, and I've kind of written off playing straight shooters on stream because I get a little angry. So Schmidgy, my job is I work for a company called Hope Haven International that delivers wheelchairs overseas, raises money, and then sends wheelchairs overseas. So I'm not telling you my blood type though. Okay, I actually got really burned out on Minecraft, so I'm back in this world after taking significant time off. I started working on this build 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So some of these buildings are very recent, but there are some that are very old. So I did get bored of playing Minecraft. I just found that if I'm building something and it has no soul behind it, there's no reason to do it. So the thing that I found that really makes me invested is, well, yes. So Schmidgy, because that's just not something I need to say on stream. Can you see my house? Yeah. Yeah. How you doing? You doing, dum dum? Marion, I've never played Kingdom Hearts. So we're kind of moving out of this area. Oh. Gonna sleep real quick, but then I'll do a little flyover. Yeah. That might be the thing, is just setting those little goals of how do you get better at building. I find if I want to improve at building, watching B00 Scar Grian does actually help. Because you'll see how their brains think of the different things. So, this is what I would consider my house. Smidgy, why all these questions? This is what I would consider my house. It's based off of the Tower of Winds. Yeah. That is from somebody duping on our world. And that's the punishment. Yeah. Well, the Tower of Winds isn't. That is. This is actually okay, or Okivi. This is what burnt me out. How you doing? M99? 9090. You can see that on the backside here. It's unfinished. So this is based off of the Temple of Artemis. And it burned me out. There's a spare ender chest here. Smidgy. No, not with you asking those questions. No, it's actually the Temple of Artemis. So you can see there's black stone in there, black concrete, gold lines, and then the red quartz at the top. But this isn't. This is like what made me quit for a long time. That's part of the reason I traded all the quartz you see. I traded for. So I traded for all of it. I traded for all the brick. I grew all the nether wart. Shiesty, no, this is not. Yeah, it took me a long time. This is actually like my favorite build in this area. Because this is a bee farm, if you can't tell, and it's a bee sanctuary. Okivi, this is a server, but with these size of builds, I need to know the people that are on the server before I'll let them on. Because I would burn down towns if somebody destroyed that. See the bees? See the bees? You got a little... Yeah. You're all good, Okivi. It's just a normal thing I say when people ask that question. Yeah, they are crazy. They were really fun to build. This was going to be my house, but then it was just too much sense to do a villager trading hall. So, inside the judicial hall thing, are you talking this thing? Shiesty, I'll go back through there. That's where my nether portal's at, so. Yeah, Smidgy. I get that. But. And then over here is a bathhouse. So it's just the bath, and then actually got a sugarcane farm above it. When I'm really building, it actually doesn't take too long. This was my first attempt at interiors, like a small house. The one to your right. Approximately how long? I would say to get all of this to where it's at, I would say it took me about 1.5 years. Yeah, I know Silk Touch. This is in a very... Yeah, that was streaming 3-4 hours a night. Some of these aren't mine. Then... Oh. I was talking this. I was talking this, a block of netherite. This was the somebody duped in this world, and that's where they went. But then Jamal, I'm sorry. I stick to a playlist. So yeah. The cool thing about this, so I actually got a little museum set up. Yeah, Shiesty. This is also a farm. I'll explain that in a second. So this is actually the first build I had on this world. And yeah, so this is like where the world started. It wasn't in this spot. It was over actually by the Tower Winds, kind of where the bucket's at. But yeah, I recreated it block for block. When I tore it down, I put it all into a shulker box. There's a storage system around here, so this actually is a shulker unloader, and it sorts stuff up to a point. I got upset with it and stopped doing it for some reason. But then we go through here, and we have this set up here. And you can guess based off of the items. It's actually a mob farm. Yeah, Marianne, thank you so much. How did I build that? I built it one brick at a time. So when I made this, I do actually, Smidgy, it's linked in my bio. When I made this, when I made that, I was like, I need a build. I need a build to like set up and cover up the mob farm. Now I could have done another tower. I could have done another tower. But then my brain was like, that wouldn't look right though. That wouldn't look right. So I made this. And then the goal was actually, you see these platforms up here? Fly up. I was going to turn them all into spawning pads. So it would have just been one of the biggest mob farms you have ever seen. And then I got burned out. I got burned out on it. So this is all deep slate. This is all blackstone. A lot of the stuff you see is actually all traded for or farmed for. So traded for all the glowstone. Got all the blackstone from pillager trading. Not pillager trading. Piglin trading. Mined all the deep slate. Mined all the cobblestone. Spruce was auto chopper farm. Cursed was also piglin. So yeah. I don't know how these would have worked initially. Love God, I have not seen Stranger Things. So but it's all just dispensers, water dispensers, and then it pushes down to here and then it goes out there. I actually realized I was hurting the rates on it a while ago. Or earlier this week, so I built the pattern up higher. So yeah. Yeah, so that's this area. Right now in the works, we have a wither skeleton farm in the works. And we are currently working on a fighting arena for when we eventually do update to the newest update of Minecraft. Marion, yes, I did not make the same mistake I made with the first one. I went and saw that stuff in theaters. So then we come to here. And this is where we're working on right now. This is Finred. So that is a tower. I gotta put like 2 more of them in on this side. This will overall be a bigger area than what the other area is. So some of these are just empty houses, but then I got a creeper farm there. I have a mob grinder there. There's a resin farm underneath there. That far building will eventually be a kelp farm, a super smelter, and a... Yo, Justin Palmer, thank you so much for the follow. And is currently a bamboo plank farm. So, and then we got Appa in his own little hangar. Yo, this is too easy. Thank you so much for the follow. Hello, notification. And then, yeah, Noah has his own little home. What's up, Star Lianxo? I'm doing good. Thank you so much for the likes. Yes, thank you so much for the likes as well. Mob grinder, as in there's a skeleton spawner that then drops down. Music louder than you? That's kind of what I thought. Let's... Thank you for that. You're all good. You're all good, Star. So this is Appa's house that we actually just finished. This is the most recent completed one. So Appa can just roam around free in here. He can go look at the tab. Yeah, so if we come in here, got a couple of copper golems. There's a spawner right here. And they'll just spawn in and drop down. We're actually going to do another build here soon with more copper golems. Because so this big building over here. This big building over here. I have a video on this. I have a video. Is a giant item sorter. So this can hold 5 million items. But as you can see, I actually just went through and pulled out a whole bunch of stuff out of my piglin trader. So we gotta, like, that's why I was putting all this stuff here. Was because it was all sorting down. Yeah. If you're like, oh, why do you need that much? Why do you need that much? I based it off of the item that I had the most of and how much space I would need for it. The amount of stone I've collected so far in the other storage system is more than 16 chests worth. So I have 32 chests for chest stone. Yeah. So. And then Mr. Fitz showed up when I had 90% of the chests in and said, why didn't you silo it? I tell you, I've never been more pissed off in my life. Not true. Yeah. I've been trying to think of different ways that I could do different games just based off of like mechanics and all that. It would take me time sitting down and thinking through it. I did develop like a snowball game, but then turns out snowballs don't work the way that they think you do. Like they don't knock back players. So, yeah. I have that, but that's just a race to who can hit the blocks the fastest, so I do want to do something like, have you heard of Decked Out? I think that would be really, really fun. I think that would be really, really fun. But I do want to get into... This is a bad thing. This is a bad thing. Been watching The Burnt Peanut. I don't know if you guys have heard of The Burnt Peanut. I'm fairly confident most everybody has at this point. Just because it's impossible, I feel like, not to have at this point. I've been watching him play Arc Raiders, and I'm like, I really want to play that. But I also really want to keep my YouTube channel for sure. Strictly Minecraft. So, I might just be playing that game off stream. Even though it seems like a really big game to play right now, so. There's nothing wrong with having off-stream games, so. I have broken my legs. You're trying to make a horror game? Ooh. What's the plot? What's the plot? Middle-aged man finds a creepy old house trying to impress his children. And then the creepy old house turns into his ex-wife. Just starts screaming at him, "Where's my alimony?" That might have felt really targeted or like really specific. That wasn't. That was just... I don't know why that's the first thing that came to my mind. Yo, Tarler, thank you so much for the sub. Getting me hopefully closer to 400 by the end of the year. Yeah, so did you guys see that short that came out on my page? Apparently I killed a villager. I don't know anything about that. I have also found this is by far apparently the most exciting thing that I could do on my YouTube channel or on my TikTok channel. I don't know if that's true, but there are days where it feels like it makes me want to believe that. I really just need to take it all the way down on one side. and then go to the other side. Yeah. Oh. You need to fill in some of this because apparently we got a cave underneath. Apparently we got a cave underneath. But yeah. Yo, Gabby, thank you so much for the likes. I also am going to put out a video here soon. I would really, really love to put out a video solely focusing on the Appa build, but I'm not too sure if I can still get footage from that. I need to look. Because that was just a really fun build to do. And it was really cool, like, how we just thought through that whole process, so. So, we'll try to do that, but I'm not sure how that'll all work out. Oh, we will see, we will see. Throw the dandelion away. We don't need that. But no, and I tell you, I haven't had so much fun building a build in a while. Like, the Appa build was truly that. What's up, Gabo? The stream's going well. I'm having a good time. We're just clearing a mountainside because we need to make a road for our fighting arena. So, yo, Gabo, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you for the heart puff. Means the world. Are you filling the cave with dirt cobblestone? Well, the parts of the caves that I tear up, I'm going to just tear up. I'll probably cover that with stone, or if there's a road there, we might cover it with road. So, I'm not going to fill in the cave completely because that would be overkill. So, but we are tearing down quite a bit of this. You know, Gabo, you're not the first one to tell me that. So, yeah, Gabo, thank you so much. Yeah, it's a fun little niche. Thank you so much, Gabo, for the heart me. It really does mean the world. More than you know. I am just now realizing I am digging into a spot I do not want to be digging into. You think I'm going to cover this for sure? Like, I think as I uncover it, I'm going to cover it because I don't want to fall in. Really don't want to fall in. I was supposed to be cutting this one. Yo, Gavu, thank you so much for the heart puff again. So, I do think we are going to tear or fill a lot of this in. I am happy there is a cave, though, because that means we just get less stuff. So, yo, the 12 heart puffs. The 12 of them. Da, 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 da. Great thing about this is we're going to have all this dirt to work with. And this is why it was really, really important just to fill in those holes. This is going to sound really weird and really off topic. Have you guys watched the new Dude Perfect video? Where they battle the bananas? Dude Perfect is a YouTube channel. Yo, manliest man, what's up? How you doing? My day is going well. Got our grab bag gift for the family party tomorrow. Hope that goes well. So, I've fallen. Yo, Cameron, thank you so much for the follow. My day was going well. It's going well though. So. Okay, you were just saying the song. You were just saying the song. Got it. Well, landed. So much for the follow. And Peyton, thank you so much. Yeah, what's up, Peyton? How you doing? How you doing, David? David, did you know they just released a movie about you? Big fan of the sling. What was I saying? Now you got me all frazzled. Oh yeah, Dude Perfect. It's a joke. There was a movie based off of David from the Bible that just released. So Dude Perfect is a trick shot YouTube channel. They have like 50 million subscribers. They have been doing a lot of battles, or they're starting a new series where they battle different creator groups, and like squad games is what they call it. So, Rachel, thank you so much for so much. David, thank you so much for the follow. Yeah, and the movie's apparently doing really well, which you love to see, honestly. Yeah. Getting paid for being David. Got a slingshot in your backpack? Yeah. Yeah. I really like the music too. It's so calming. And so many times. So many times. What's up, Hyacinth? Yeah, King and Country. Yeah, somebody shared shoulders, so. Hyacinth? Did I say it with the ch or the... See this? Synth, got it. Okay, cool. So I did say it right. Nice. I get the tricky names. I don't get the like super tricky names. Like if you start throwing in squiggles in there, like I'm lost. But I think that's most of the population. So largest lighted macaw in the world. That is such an interesting way to get your name. I cannot begin to tell you. David, you're going weird. You're going wild. See it honestly. Yeah. I really need to see them in concert sometime. I've seen Crowder, Third Day. I think we also saw Michael W. Yeah, we saw Michael W. Smith because Third Day was opening for him for a Christmas concert. A follower garden like Stampy? Possibly? I'm not sure. I would need to look. Homeboy just crawled out of the ground. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't think I would get out there. So, but if they come in the Midwest, I tend to. We almost had a fight on our hands. It's actually able to see Crowder and Matt Marr on their most recent tour. David, For King Country is a Christian band. Dang. Dang, Highsmith. Hyacinth. I'll get it right on the first time, and then I'll just mess it up every time. Yo, what's up, Luke? How you doing? You're in bed? Oh, no. Dude. We're just gonna do it. We're just gonna do it. Homeboy's looking for a fight. Homeboy's looking for a fight. Come on, man. Come on, man. I saw you trying to fight. Watching from your VR. I don't know if you need to put ice on your fingers or not, Hyacinth. Bro got scared. My trim has the Coast Armor with Amethyst. And then I have both Silk Touch and on both my picks, along with Mending, Unbreaking, and Efficiency 5. Yeah, Luke, we're doing better. We're doing better. We're on the mend. I don't know if you saw the TikTok yesterday. Your boy got pneumonia. So. Sus, this is not. This is a server that I own, rent, whatever you want to say. So, it's on Java. Yeah, I got antibiotics and steroids, so I'll be fine. The reason why I didn't know about it was actually because I was taking steroids for my leg issue. So, yeah. Yo, Nico, thank you so much for the follow. Yeah, I'm cooking with that. So, I eventually need to get more creators on this world, but that'll come when it comes. Just so we can do more stuff. Convince somebody to farm mangrove trees. Yes, Hyacinth, I'm removing the hill. Yeah, Luke, you have a good night. You have a good night too. Stay awesome, be awesome. Yeah, so all of this is gonna need to eventually just disappear. Yeah, Hyacinth, it's been a process over the all of the time. It's been a process over the whole of time. It originally went to right about there, for like the biggest part, so we're just slowly chipping away at it. With haste 2, it hasn't taken as long as you might think. I've probably put 20-30 hours into it for sure. But with haste 2, it really does help. I've had at least... Yo, Gray and the Moon, what's up? So much for the likes. I know for sure it has taken... I've had, what is it, about 6 streams where this is all we've been doing. So, yeah. It's taken a while, but I'm not upset about it or anything like that. I enjoy it, so. Plus, it's like from a content creator standpoint, like I like this one. Lighthouse Beach, yeah. Nice. Great Moon. Oh yeah, this is a really good song. Message, I would say try to base a build around a mob. You know what I mean? So like I have this build over here that is actually just a hanger for my Happy Gas Appa. So you could do something like that. I also have another build that is a covered dome. That's like a for a bee farm. It's like a covered dome with an observational area underneath. That's a bee farm. What's up, Secret? Yeah, we can do kind of a short one. This is Finrad. So this is my storage unit. Some of these are just houses with beds in them, and then various different things. Oh, people, thank you so much for the follow. No, people. I am very protective of this world. Very, very protective of this world. But we just passed my mob farm. Or not my mob farm, my gold farm. Which is a gold farm. So. And we're going to actually come out in my mob farm. / other storage area. Oh. It's just your basic mob farm. It's not super complicated. This is a storage system which was overrun by stone. But Essage. Yeah. This is what I'm talking about with a sanctuary. So this is actually like my favorite build in this area because all those are just little bee farms and it's just like a little sanctuary. Gray of the Moon. I'm actually using YouTube for that. Just a playlist on YouTube. So it's a mix based off of Nobody. So I got this little observation area. Subsea. Yeah, this outside is actually based off of the Temple of Artemis. This is actually why I got burnt out on the game and swapped to Apex for who knows how long for streaming. Because it just got to the point where it was so big and everything was so repetitive. I do feel like a pull to like just completing it and making it a YouTube video so I can just brain dead all of it. So, but yeah. And then this is Tower of Winds. This is our town hall. That's actually a trader. We got a couple of barns, a horse barn, a regular barn. So, and then our sugarcane farm, that's a bathhouse underneath here. So, yeah. There's quite a bit going on. And then this is an unfinished city. So, Gray of the Moon. So, I'll also F5 when we get back. But a basic mob farm will get you a lot of gunpowder. Like, all that gunpowder is from 15 hours of AFK. The biggest thing, though, is getting your AFK spot to the right spot. Mine was actually about down 30 Y levels. So I went up higher and suddenly my rates like improved greatly. So you need to be like 100 blocks above it just to get good spawn rates. Yeah, I gotta go back to the Nether anyways because we're working over there. So we're actually on the roof. So we've had this since 1.16. So when they initially introduced moss could actually break through bedrock. So one of the people that was on here was like, I'm getting through all of the bedrock. So, but if you go in that direction, you'll reach our end city, and then we also have another portal for where we're building our wither farm way out there. Yeah. And then this is my gold farm. I'm going to work actually on making a basalt farm that relies on TNT. Just because I don't really feel like breaking it up. But then the gold farm is actually an old base off of... Here, they're all pissed at me. Based off of all you needed to do was anger 1, and then you get XP from all of it. So... yeah. So... So the reason why the amount of blocks away matters, so there's a very small, like, won't spawn radius around you. That's like 16 blocks. So you need to be that far away at least. But also there's an area that stops spawning. Yo, thank you so much, Z. Yeah, I see we're at 3K, 3.3K already. But we'll actually go free cam and I'll go underneath here. So I actually do have a gunpowder farm here. You can see it relies heavily on cats. So these cats actually should be in the center, but they got pushed to the side because I didn't go through and spider proof them. So the spiders would just wander around and push the cats around. So, yeah. But it is actually a gunpowder farm. Again, the biggest thing with it is just this one is very inefficient because, yeah, I love No Fear too. It's very inefficient because the cats got pushed to the side. So, realistically, only the creepers that spawn on this part will get pushed off. All the creepers that spawn over here will run over to this corner. I've actually watched it happen. So, why do I keep falling into the ground? It's a mod that I actually have. It's called Free Cam. So I can go out and I can observe builds. What I was doing there, if you noticed, I stayed really, really tight to build that I had underground because like it can get very cheesy very fast. So, but it allows me to look at my build from a different angle than what I can normally. So it's easier to get like thumbnails and all that without having to switch accounts and that annoying crap. Why don't I use shaders? I just don't like them. I really don't. Like, that's... I've seen people play with shaders, and I don't like them. I grew up, and, like, when I started playing Minecraft, mods weren't a thing. What's up? What's up, Unknown? How you doing? Gotten a total of 3 gunpowder from it? Oh my gosh, Gray. Yeah. That's a good possibility. Because it does depend on your spawn radius. This is Java. And when I started playing this game, there weren't mods. Think about that for a second. Yo, Jonathan, thank you so much for the likes. Yeah, I believe that. I know there's also a very bad mob farm out there. So the way that mobs work, right, is they will spawn within a certain radius. They will not spawn within a certain radius very close to you. And they will not move a certain radius away from you. They'll only move within a certain radius to you. But once they pass that threshold, they won't move, but they will spawn. So there's a mob farm out there. Relies on mobs wandering into a water stream. That's supposed to be a 0 redstone build that I built on a previous world. I got 5 bones. Oh, Sarah, howdy. You're on the other account again. But it is a terrible, terrible mob farm. It's so much easier just to go get quartz and do the redstone. So, yeah, I totally understand where you're having issues like that if you're Your mob farm isn't working, so. But it is a historically bad mob farm. Like, historically bad mob farm. And I'm like, I built it and I went, why did anybody ever build this? And I saw recently there was a video floating around of somebody being like, look at this super easy mob farm. And it was that mob farm. And then they were like, why isn't anything falling down? Eventually they'll come down, right? No, mobs stop moving. Like, they won't. They take up processing power whenever they move because they're another AI that's taking processing power to make its random decision. So, like, if they're a certain distance away from you, they're not going to move. It's like if you go AFK for 15 minutes, the game's going to slow down itself. Like it's going to stop giving out frames. It's going to stop giving out updates. So it's going to update differently. Howdy, Reagan. How you doing? Thank you so much for the follow. Like, it's basic knowledge. So, yeah, Kenny. But we're going to put this... There's a part of me that wants to keep going. There's also a part of me that doesn't want to break up the worm. I might just mine under the worm. Loki might just mine under the worm. So. Oh, good, Gray. It's a mob farm that in theory works, but in practice it doesn't. There is a way, I think, to do it without observers. I'm just not sure what that way fully entails, so. Still got Diet Coke. But yeah, oh my gosh, 5K likes, that's insane. Actually insane. I think what we're gonna do. I'm trying to think of what I want to do. Yeah, Sleepy, thank you so much for the likes. This is where I need to plan a little bit. So I'm thinking this is going to be our level that we split. Which means... that we need to work up a little bit coming from here. It's going to wind up being a little bit more windy. That means we can pretty much lob off there and here. That point. I'm going to go get the partial and empty shulker. I can probably just throw this guy in. Go throw these 4 in. And we're going to move the other ones up and actually just lob off the tops of those. Yo, Dallas, thank you so much for the follow. It means the world. It means the world. Yeah. And we're going to come grab these guys and we're going to go up there. We're going to start lobbing off up there. I know I said I did need to place on the road, but yeah, I don't know how to say your name. It's just metal. We're gonna actually go sleep real quick because it's getting late. Like, I realistically should just put in the road, like, and that would be the stream, but I just don't feel like doing that. So we're not gonna do it. Oh my gosh, tea on tea, Shara. Tea? Are you a Brit or a Scot? Oh my gosh, 6,300 likes. Oh my gosh. Wait, Scottish is British. Oh, Old Red, thank you so much for the follow. That's on me, Sarah. That's on me. Just don't really like the fact that they are. But yes, so this will be our level. You know, Old Red, I did not expect the yellow car. I did not expect the yellow car. I actually had a doctor suggest tea and honey to help with my inability to breathe. Before she very quickly realized, after listening to my lungs, that tea and honey was not going to help my ability to breathe. Healthcare, am I right? Yo, 7K likes. Let's go. Sorry, I had to give a ban hammer real quick in the purple chat, which has not had a single chat all night. Yo, Funky Simple, thank you so much for the follow. Alright, how are we gonna do this? Do we go 2 layers at a time like this, or... Chicken. I miss having fire aspect, but I don't miss having it. Remove the beacon. We're going to get a lot of the dirt out of the way first, and then we'll go move the beacon. But yes, if you're enjoying the TikTok, and this is going to be a shameless plug because, yeah, if you're enjoying TikTok, if you could do me a very big favor. I also am live right now over on YouTube as @SchwonkyKong. That's my actual username. I know I pop up as Logan Schwonky, but if you could go and sub over on the YouTube too, we are so close to 400. I would greatly appreciate it. I had it as a... because it was the name that came to me at the time. And I needed to rename the shovel. So... It was just the name that came to me at the time, and I don't know why. I feel like it just fits. So. I really couldn't tell you why. I know I wanted to change the name it had before. Because like it just didn't work. But for whatever reason, Shaniqua fits. So. It did have a different name. And I remember one word of it. Which was digger. So. Yeah. Really hard on the D there, so. But with the amount of flubs that I have in my life, the amount of times where my mouth just decides to stop working, there's just simple words I avoid. So. Not because they are bad, but because they're bad adjacent. And that is one of those words. So, real bad adjacent. So, not like I would flub like my brain would go into that just naturally. It's just I would flub and then it would come out sounding bad. So, just don't take the chance. Yeah. So Shaniqua it was, and it fits. I don't know why it fits. It's just, yeah, when I think Shaniqua, I think of the shovel. So. Which is really, really funny because if I was just on the right day, I could have named my shovel Paul. Or Kurt. What was your YouTube again? Schwunky Kong. So I think I have at Twitch in my bio. It's the exact same thing there. Thankfully, it was not hard to get that name, so. Yo, Carter, thank you so much for the follow. Means the world. Alright, that's a good amount of dirt removed. I think I might go move a beacon. Or, hear me out, hear me out. We avoid the mining and we just make another beacon. I like the way you think, Magic Man. Yo, Brian, thank you so much for the follow. Yo, 8K likes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Good afternoon from Vietnam. Oh my gosh. I think I have coworkers going to Vietnam soon. Today's your brother's birthday. Nice. Nice. It is not morning for me. It is... I'm going to bed. 15 minutes for me. What's up, Magby? How you doing? Yeah, just Vietnam currently. Nice. What's up, Audio Cicado? What's up? Da, 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 da. What did I need? I needed stuff to make a beacon. I need glass. Da, 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 da. I need just regular. Da, 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 da. Really sucks. Because I don't know if you guys have noticed. Hello, Nuzzy. I have put in all the windows. Storage stresses you out. Wait a second, Alkaline. Ah. How you doing, Nuzzy? Alkaline, it's honestly, I need to clean it up. I know I do. It's just, it's a lot of chess monsters. Yo, Cordell, thank you so much for the follow. We really are going to be working on it. The next build after we finish the fighting arena is going to be a copper golem sorting system, so as I've come to realize, I have a lot of little things that really need just the diversity that copper golems can give them. So this is actually something that is going to be phased out here very soon. I'm going to move a lot of the stuff that's not sorted, but not the bulk items. So. Oop. We got the hiccups. It's good to hear, Nuzzy. Well, besides the hiccups, I'm doing well. Gonna make all three. And then we're gonna grab 3 stacks of iron blocks. And then boom, boom, boom. Then we'll go back and put up a beacon in this area, so that way we don't need to worry about it. But now we have 2 additional ones, and I do know we're going to get more here soon. Need to look up. Oh my gosh, 8K likes is actually insane for this stream. All we've been doing really is mining. So. One, 2, 3, 4, 9. Crap. Quick. Move to shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think I only need 3 stacks. I think I'll have some left over. He said with mixed optimism. Yeah, because I only need 25 here and then 9 on the last. And I can just simply break down one of these. And a beacon. Boom. Now we mine. Now we mine. But yeah, I'm doing good. We're recovering from the pneumonia pretty well. Today was a lot better than yesterday. Yesterday was bad. So I don't like to talk about my health too much recently, but I don't like to talk my health too much, but recently it's been really pissing me off, so I've been trying to get into weight. I'm going back and forth on doing actual like workout blogs on TikTok. I would probably set up a separate account for that just because I don't want to cross mix them too much. So, or I might, I don't know. But October was really, really good. November was getting off to a really good start. I was like, okay, I'm going to beat October. October, it was more than 50% of the month by like one day. It was 16 out of the 15 days. Which for my first month, really good. And then I had first 2 weeks of November, I was working out 4 times a week for the first 2 weeks. And then suddenly, week 3, my body gave out in the middle of a workout and I needed to cut it short. And I was like, that's weird. And I was like, okay. And I just kind of felt weird, right? Like, okay, so I could feel myself kind of getting sick. I was like, I'm just going to take it easy. Got sick at the end of the week, missed 2 days of work there. Oh, that really sucks. Tried again the next week. Again, same thing. Felt lethargic in the workout. Couldn't do the weights I normally do. If I tried to do the weights that I normally do, it's like, I just can't. And went home. I think I just need to give it a little bit of a break. And then my legs started to swell. And I was like, that's not good. It's not good. What's up, Flower? Oh, no, Flower. Don't really do that here. We don't really do that here. I was like, well, that's weird. That's weird. Why is that doing that? I'm actually gonna go put this iron away because I don't like it being in my inventory. But so with that, I then, okay, it got to the point where, well, it started up like really hurting. Thanksgiving week, I was like, okay, I'm going to go let it rest during Thanksgiving weekend, not do anything. Absolutely sucked. So I wasn't working out then. Well, so I go take steroids, or I go to the doctor, they prescribe me steroids. After it's like, okay, there's no blood clots, there's no mass. Like, what's up, neurotic? And the doctors are like, I couldn't tell you. Yes, neurotic, I speak English. Like, there's no mass, there's no blood clot. So we'll give you steroids, see if the swelling goes down, which it did. They're like, oh, we think you might have torn your ACL, but we can't confirm unless if you do an MRI. It's like, well, all right, that makes sense. Because I told him about an old injury where I'd slipped on some ice, landed directly on my knee, and there was an injury that was consistent with it. So he put me on the steroid to get the swelling down, and it went away, and then it came back. Well, in that time, started to feel tightness in my chest, like I couldn't breathe, I couldn't catch my breath or anything. But I still had energy, so my brain wasn't going, oh, I think it's pneumonia. I was like, I'm not lethargic. Whenever I get pneumonia, I'm extremely, extremely lethargic. Well, if you're taking steroids, you're not going to get lethargic. So I was just like, I was steady. And I was like, that's really weird. Usually whenever I take steroids, I get very loopy. So, go. Thank you so much for the like. So, I do the steroids. It comes back. I get another 6 days steroid. And the pain goes away. Pain has mostly gone away. It's like going down every night, so it's to the point where it loosens up whenever I do activities, so it's not really an issue. But then I start getting really lethargic, so yesterday went in and the doctor was talking to me about home remedies and all this different stuff. And I'm just looking at them going, I know exactly what this is. Because I've felt this before. I felt this bad before. I have had pneumonia. This is my 3rd or 4th time having pneumonia. So I am now on another steroid, along with 2 separate antibiotics. So I don't get tired. I go to bed when I'm like, I think I need to go to bed. So I'm actually getting really close to that point. So once we feel the shoulders, then we'll go to bed. So, but that's why my throat has been dry. That's why it feels like I'm about to cough all the time. Why my voice is, I have to keep my voice really monotone, is because if I do anything crazy, if I laugh, if I breathe real deep, it's because I've had pneumonia for the last 3-4 weeks. And the steroids just, yeah, neurotic. I'm still sick. I got the antibiotics yesterday. And yeah, it's just the steroids give you a lot of energy. So yeah, it is what it is. I'm on a holiday weekend, so by the time I go back to work, I'll be fine. Yeah, it's like I said, like the 3rd or 4th time I've had pneumonia. It's only like a quarter of my lungs. It's half of one lung, so. But it was really funny when she listened to my lungs and I was explaining I was short of breath. She was like, oh. And then COVID came back negative. She's like, okay, I'm going to listen to your lungs. And every time I took a deep breath, I coughed real bad. And then she was like, ooh, I think we're going to get you sent over to an x-ray. And if it comes back that you have pneumonia, I'll prescribe antibiotics. And then she looked again, and the flu test came back negative. And she was like, yeah, I'm for sure going to prescribe you a steroid. If the result comes back with pneumonia, I'm going to get you on a couple of antibiotics. So, Pink, I would use TNT, but we're actually going to be rebuilding this mountain. It's not the way that I want it. So, it's going to be like coming out from here and going up and over here. Like over this little cove. It's not in the correct spot. So we're actually going to be reusing a lot of this stone. So plus I have a massive wall I need to build. So I'm not going to use TNT. I'd just rather do this. I want to keep a lot of the material. Plus we have 2 more beacons sitting inside of a shulker box. So but yeah, I will get better, so. Alright, that's going to fill the shulker box. Just keep playing it. Yeah. Like, I'm 5 years into this world, so. Also paying for the world really helps. This is the second area that we were working on. So. It actually really clogs up the thing, so. Whoops. But it should be fine. It should clear out in time. Yo, 9K legs, let's go. But yeah. We are gonna end it there, so yeah. So with that, as always, stay awesome. Be awesome. Don't forget that you're loved. Don't forget that you make the world a better place by being in it. Stay awesome. Be awesome. I'll catch you in the next stream. Bye. This is just a really long, awkward pause.